Okay, here I don't even know if I was recording that or not, but I was trying to adjust that and something happened, it might have stopped. But these things got these little marks here, and there's one here and here. There's a total of 6 of them. There's holes right along the side. They just pop into place. On here, I want to be careful of the cables, pop it into place. So there we go. That front cover's on. That's what it's going to look like. I should have gotten a black one. I have a black one of these somewhere, but like I said, it doesn't matter. So now I got to find that screw I lost. So, I found the screw. And I knocked off this little piece right here. That's a cover for the back where you place the PCI cards. Now I can go back to putting these things in. You know, I like magnetic screwdrivers, but when I'm working with computer stuff, back in the day with the 5 1/4 inch floppies and the 3 1/2 inch floppies, you didn't want magnets getting around them, so I just get used to not using those. Right there. I like my magnetic tools from when I'm out working on my rig. So, tighten, tighten, just a snug. That's all you need, is just a snug. Don't torque them down or anything, because that leads to issues. Especially when you're doing CDs, there are DVD drives and stuff, you don't want to get any metal flakes in there. So that could damage discs, damage your drive as well. So that's all snug. Alright, I pretty much got everything in here on this side that I can do with it right here, so I'm going to place my cover on it. Put it to, just lay it to the side like that. And here's my back cover right here. Some cases you have to slide them out before you can remove them. This case just pops into place right there, drops down, and it's there. And I got a couple of these little screw things, hand tighteners as well, to hold this into place. So, and I just put these things on hand tight because I take these off occasionally when I have to blast them out with air. I don't snug them down or anything like that. So another thing to remember is cross threading. I know it's just a thin piece of steel, but be careful of cross threading. Steel could damage your screw and all that. And now that I got this back done, now I'm almost ready to go. I got my drives in there, got these things there. Here's my power right here, here. I still have to put my video card in here. So, although this comes with onboard video, I got a video card for it. Okay, where am I? Okay, I know where those go. I know exactly where those go. Okay, let's hook up the power to the drives. Okay, I have this cable here. This here powers a 3 1/2 inch drive. This, okay, it's a little 4 prongs, got a key, only one way it can go in. And it's right onto the back. Some are in different, they could be in different places and all that. So just plug that thing in, bam, it's plugged in, it's done. So I'll set that aside because I'm going to use one of these things here, these 4 prong things, to power my fans on here. This is another power cable for a fan. Okay. I don't like wires being screwed over like that. Anyways, now I used to have a 4th drive in here. Someday I might put another drive in here, but today I'm not. I had to take out my 1 drive in order to fix a computer for another friend. So I gave up a terabyte hard drive for him. So like I said, I need light in here. So I'm gonna go grab my flashlight. Okay. This is a good little flashlight right here. It says easy red on it. Things like extremely bright. Let's see, ooh, bright. So I like it because it's bright. I wish it had a where I can set it down easily so I can see better. So I'll just use something like that to put it in there. Okay, these are the power plugs for my SATA cable. If you look at them, they're long and they got a little notch at the end. And on the back here, let me show you. This is a hard drive out of a laptop, and this is where the long one goes, right here. You could take it, that little notch, there's a little notch at the end, and you just take it and you plug it right in, and that gives it power right there. So, anyways, you need to be able to see down in here to see the direction of where the little connections are. And right now the little notches are up this way, so I have to put them in like this. And I got one cable, means I got 3 drives right here. I got one cable I can do it with. You can actually buy adapters that you can plug in with these type of cables, the 4 prongs, that'll power the SATA. All my drives are SATA except for my floppy drive. So, and when I get all this stuff plugged in, I will show you the cables for the plug-in for data on there. Okay, I got that done, that done. Here's another cable with 2 of them. So I'll put that one there and that one there. Now I got them all plugged in. There's power to each of them. Okay, now that I got that done with that, and grab my cables. Okay, these are cables I use. These are like data cables. I don't know what they're actually called, but I call them the data cables. They'll plug the motherboard into here. These are what brings that that took the place of the IDE ribbon cable in here. And again, there's a little notch here at the end. And there's a notch on the drive inside there where it's at. I'll show you here on this little hard drive again. There's that little notch right there on this one here. What you do is you just take the notch, you know where it's at, and it just plugs in just like this, and it's plugged in. Some cables here, I have some around here somewhere, have a little locking thing on here that locks them into place so that they stay into place. I like these little latches ones because it locks them into place and does a good job. And here again, I need light because I'm blind, because I'm old. I'll plug that. Is that, no, this one away. Notch, notch. Okay. Now that I got this plugged in here, can't really see it too well down inside here, but I showed you earlier, right there, if I can get open there, right here, these things here is where my SATA is going. You have SATA 0 and it just keeps going up. Got SATA 0, SATA 1, and your C drive, that's your boot drive, should be always SATA 0. So, plug this in. Right, that's the end right there. Okay, that's plugged in. And I'll just tuck that down there, like so. Now I got another cable here, which is, it's not a latching one, but it will do what I need it to do. This bottom one, I like the latching one on there because it's so close to the bottom and it kind of curves. I don't want a lot of tension onto that. There, that one's plugged in. Okay. Another cable right here. It's actually got a locking one, and it doesn't matter because I have a bunch of cables. You never have enough cables on here because if the cable goes bad, then you can just go grab another one. And cables do go bad. There. And oh, that won't work because that's got an angle right there. So I'll just plug the angle in on here. There's that. And I'll use this other one here to plug it in here. Now, like I said, I have that one cable that goes to the front here for my SATA, but I don't ever use it, so I don't ever care to plug that in. I just try to tuck these things out of the way so I can see better. Like I said, there's some people that like to wire tie all this together to make it all look pretty, but it's really a person's choice. I personally don't care because air gets everywhere. I got these things here because I got so many cables. That's why I wire tied these, because there's just so many cables on here. So, and I'll have to use, I got this one here because I have to use this on my video card. Video cards take different power. So, that, and there, plug that in there. Okay, one more cable and all my drives will be plugged in on here. Kind of use the red cables for my CD drives, and the orange, it just shows me, well, I know the orange goes for my hard drives and the reds go to my CD drives. A lot of cables are all the same color, and you have to sit there and mess around with them to figure out which one's which. Always make sure to touch the case when you're working in here. My arm is, part of my body is always touching this case when I'm working in it, inside of it, due to static electricity. So I know there's no power in here, but that's that. Now I got to hook up right down here is my plugs for these right here. I'm going to hook those up. Can't turn the computer on with those. And right here, if you look into the book, it will tell you where to plug things in right here. This page here, I don't know if you can see it. It's got a diagram of where the pins are and what they are right there. Some motherboards, the positive and the positive wire and the negative wire actually matter. And this one here, positive and wire and negative actually matter. Some motherboards don't have that problem, and I wish it didn't, because it just makes things so much easier. Okay, so let you know how much smoke there was that in there. These wires right here, they were white, and now they're kind of a cream color. Okay, this is my reset. It says reset, so I look on my little thing here and look for my reset. I see the power switch, hardline reset. Okay, and so I believe the white is always hot and the dark is always ground. I don't know, I'll figure it out eventually. So, but my reset, which would be, you can look for missing plugs, the speaker's on that side, so my reset needs to go right here. I had to count the pins. I put them in there, just like jumpers. Back in the day, you had to use jumpers to tell the computer the IRQ addresses and stuff like that. This one here, what is this one here? This is my power LED. So I look here, right here, power LED, right there. It's those ones right there. So and before I put this cover on, I'll make sure that the lights are working, the reset switch working, and all that before I put it back on, so I get the, because like I said, this motherboard, the positive and negative on these buttons actually matter. Okay, this one here, this is the power switch. Power switch right there, it's those two right there. So maybe one of these days I'll take and I'll mark the color on each side per the color on the switches. And see here, this one here is my HDD LED that shows when the hard drive is actually working. So let's look here. Message power snake, message power speaker, header switch, hard drive activity LED right there. It's those two right there. So, and like I said, I'll make sure everything works on here before I do anything. Right there. Okay, that's in place. Right there. Move these cables around so they're not all over the place. Right there. This cable's going to have to go away over here because my video card goes right there. Okay. Okay, my video card right here is an Asus GTX 550 Ti. It's an okay video card. It ain't the best, but it runs what I need it to run. I had the GeForce 9600 before, and it burned out on me, and I was kind of bummed out, so I just bought this. Because like I said, all I have to do is just, all I want it to do is what I want it to do. I don't need it. Anyways, these things go in, this is a PCI slot, goes in there. There's a little latch right here. You push and it goes in. You got to make sure you get this top piece. There's two little slots that it needs to go down in. That just goes down like this, and then it just pops into place, and it is secure right there. It is secure right there. And well, can't see, really see it too much here. Let me turn this over. Put that back. Like here. Right here is a little latch that it goes onto right there. See how that moves like this? You don't want that to move like that. What you want it to do is, they come with these little screws here, and you screw it down in there and it holds it tight. You have one here, that's a slot that can do right there. Like I said, you don't put it in tight until you get them all in there. Here's another little screw right there. That's, thank goodness, I almost lost another piece. Okay, lock that. Like I said, it's snug, no torquing down. Okay. There, if you notice, there's an open hole here and an open hole here. That's where I knocked these things here out from it, so I'm just going to set them back into place right there so that it covers those holes. Right there, they're pretty easy to set in. Right there, and now this thing's making me a liar. So